Hello, Search here for the Backyard Driving Range. Okay, we have a comment that came into, and a question that came into customer service, and this one's from Gary. And Gary says, "Hi Don, on another topic. I noticed that in each of your videos, you begin by hitting a shot. In every case, I see you turning your hips and ending with your chest facing the hole. But in many of your talks, you say we don't do that. Rather, we should maintain our facing the ball and just do a small bump as we turn. What I see is not what you say." Gary. Okay, I think you're seeing everything correctly, Gary. It's just that from what I can make out what you're saying here, I think, as I just said, you're right in what you're saying, but you're getting the down, what I call the forward upswing, or some people would call it downswing to impact, mixed up with the finish. All right. Now, what's one of the things I say? The peak performance golf swing is a little bit of turn and a lot of lift. All right. And so when we make the backswing to here, when you turn only to your toe line, so there's a little bit of turn and it's straight up. All right. Now, because the system of our arms connected to the ball and socket joint, the hands always cross at 12 and 6 o'clock. When that means that when the hands are holding a golf club, when they come back to 6 o'clock like clapping, your palms are perpendicular to the ground, perpendicular to the torso, and if you're lined up parallel left if you're a righty and parallel right if you're a lefty, you would have, at impact, you would come back to dead square. So even though I'm drumming up here and I'm ringing the bell and I got that little bump and my hips start to turn a little bit, at impact, my shoulders impact now. All right? I'm facing the target. Okay? At impact, I'm facing the camera. At impact, my shoulders will be relatively square to the target line, because that's just about where I was at impact, except for the fact because I've done my bump, which is a little bit of a lateral shift to the left foot, and then I start turning, and all of that is happening before impact. And by the time I get to here, my knees and my hips are a little bit left, but my shoulders, as I hit the ball, will pretty much basically be dead parallel left. That's how we guarantee to return our hands back to parallel to the perpendicular to the torso and the target line, and which has the club square to the target line going through. That's a given. Now, let's talk about after impact. So I got a little bit of turning here. Now, if you talk about most of what's being taught today, they're coming in, the first thing they do is they turn everything immediately to start the downswing. So by the time they do that, and many of them are firing their right hips, their back hips so fast, and in many cases they're up like this, everything is cleared and way to the left, all right? Whereas we got our clearing is a lot less with the lower body, because in many cases, if you look at me hit it at impact, my foot is almost still completely on the ground. The weight is just rolled over to the inside of the foot, and by impact, this heel is still probably, the front of the heel is still probably touching the ground, or you could probably shine a sheet of paper under it. That's about, not much more will get under it. Whereas many other golfers, they got it almost all the way up and even like that before impact. Okay? Anyways, we come back here, and so hopefully we clarified this concept about what's happening at impact. So, but with the chest facing the hole, that's the finish. The chest should be facing the hole at the finish. We believe in facing the hole. Now, what's almost all the other teaching out there telling you? Because they have you turn everything to hit the ball, and they're so far ahead, turned left, which pulls them ahead of the ball, and then they have you finishing straight back here with the back shoulder pointing at the target. Well, if you do that, their chest and belt buckle is facing over there. We will swing through, recoil and relax, and we're supposed to have the club pointing at the target. Okay? So your first line up in the beginning is talking about chest facing the hole. That's finish. Chest facing the ball, that's impact. Okay? They're neither facing the ball, their chest is neither facing the ball at impact or facing the target at finish. That's the big difference with us. We are facing the chest is at the ball at impact, the hips might be a little open, and the chest is facing the target, which is why we recoil and relax, because just the fact of swinging up is trying to pull us that way, and the recoil and relax pulls us back in and keeps us more square to our target, because we want to play golf in a bowling alley, not a baseball park. So the more we can keep ourselves finishing here. And what other sport in the world doesn't finish at the target? If you hit a hockey stick, they swing and straight through towards the goal. If a quarterback throws a ball, he's throwing it right where he wants the ball to go. Pitcher is throwing it right at the catcher. He throws and releases at the catcher. Tennis players, they serve, they throw the ball up, and they swing right to where they want the ball to go. Badminton, anything you want. Everything in this world is taught. And when I used to coach Little League, I used to say what? Look where you throw where you look. All right? In golf now they say, look at the camera, look where you want to go, but finish over there. Doesn't work that way. Yeah, I can still hit a ball that way when I swing over here, but I'm crossing the line. I'll be pulling across the line. And how many times have I said the most important thing for hitting a golf ball is the club has to approach on the line, strike it on the line and be square, leave on the line accelerating, and hit the ball solid in a sweet spot while doing the first three. Dr. Alistair Cochran, in a book he published called The Search for the Perfect Swing in 1992, identified that as the optimal way, the only way to hit a golf ball correctly. And he called correct golf shot a relatively straight shot. And about 24 years after that, Dr. David Pelson, that's a physicist turned golf pro, said the same thing about putting. On, square and solid. You violate that, you're going to have problems playing good golf. And so therefore, that's a law of physics. I didn't create the laws of physics, but I like to live by them because that's the way God created the world to turn. Whether you're walking, throwing, hitting, playing any sport in the world, and especially playing golf. Because we play the littlest ball that goes the farthest distance to the smallest hole. So you violate this law, you're going to have problems making good swings, hitting consistently good shots, so you can shoot those lower scores. So hopefully this clarifies this. I really believe the whole concept is you got impact and finish mixed up. All right? And yes, what you said was correct about what I say, but you have to apply it at the right time in the golf swing. Okay? So hopefully this clears this up for everybody. And with this, we'll all start hitting, as I always say, making better swings, hitting those better shots, and shooting those lower scores. That's it for the Search for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.